Hey, thanks for checking out my video. Today we're going to show how to sharpen a lawnmower blade, specifically on my push lawnmower. We're going to talk about why we sharpen it, how to safely remove the blade, how to sharpen the blade, how to balance the blade, and how to reinstall the blade. Let's get going. The reason why you want to sharpen your lawnmower blade is because over time you might hit some rocks in your lawn, kids' toys, the curb, and that could cause some dings and dents in your blade, making it not as sharp. And the reason why that's a problem is because instead of cutting cleanly through the grass, it could be tearing or ripping the grass, and the top of the grass blade isn't going to have a nice clean cut on it. Now, yeah, you might think, oh, it doesn't matter what it looks like, but it could actually increase the risk of disease for your lawn. So it's healthy for your lawn to have a nice clean cut, and it promotes growth. So that's why we sharpen the blade. Let's show you how to take it off your lawnmower now. Okay, here's what we're going to need for this project. We're going to need gloves, ear and eye protection, a file, or in my case, I'm going to use a grinder, and then we're also needing a wrench. Mine's a 5/8 for my lawnmower. Yours might be a 9/16, and then also a nail, which we'll use to balance the blade after we sharpen it. Okay, the first thing you're going to want to do before taking the blade off is turn off the gas, so there's no gas going into the motor, and then removing the spark plug. Let's pull this up. All right, so the spark plug's still in there, but we're just removing the connection point. This makes it so there's no way that as you're turning the blade that the engine will turn on, because you do not want your hand stuck in the lawnmower with the lawnmower accidentally turning on. Okay, the next step is to figure out where your air filter is, and you're going to want to lay your lawnmower on its side with the air filter on the top. If you don't have a way to turn off your gas, this just prevents gas from going into your carburetor and flooding it. So I want this to the top, so we'll grab the lawnmower, twist it up. Okay, put your gloves on, grab your 5/8 wrench, and what I like to do is I like to set it pretty close to here. That way I can grab it and squeeze it, kind of like I'm closing a pair of pliers. This is the sharp side. I mean, it's dull right now, but this is supposed to be the sharp side of the blade. So you can grab it with both your hands, and you can pull it down. There we go. So it's still lefty-loosey. Okay, you don't want to lose any of those parts, but here's our blade now. All right, when you're sharpening the blade, you only want to sharpen the top side, not the bottom side. The reason why is you don't want it to be like a knife where both sides are sharp. You want only one side to be sharp. So when you're cutting the grass, so this is the blade, it's going to cut the grass tip off, it's going to cause lift. You want it to lift it. You don't want to have the grass be cut down. It's going to cut and then pull it up. That's an important part. So only sharpen the top side. You might take a hair off the bottom just for the burrs, but you're not taking any material off, just getting the burrs off. Okay, now we're ready to sharpen our blade. So we have two different options we can use. You can use the first one, which is just a regular file. The technical term for this is a bastard mill file. And you can just sharpen it like this. And that's how a lot of people do it. If you have it, that's great. I'm going to use a Milwaukee grinder with the flap disc. It's the 4.5 inch flap disc. It's 80 grit. And that'll allow me to control really well, take this material off without taking too much off. Okay, so let's get your eyes and ears and let's do this. So you want to maintain the same angle as what's currently there. So right now you can see I took off material here but not down there, so I need to adjust my angle. Okay, let's take a look at that. Okay, it looks like I can take a little bit more off of this side, but this right here is looking really good. Hey, and if you'll do me a favor, please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to take a little bit more off of that. Okay, you can see this is chewed up pretty good. It's on both sides, like my blade was like that on both sides. So we're just going to sharpen the top. We want to maintain this same angle. So take material off this whole angle. We're not sharpening the bottom at all. Yeah, that's a lot better this whole way. Here at the end, it's still not quite sharp, so I'll take a little bit more off here, but we're looking really good. And that just took a few passes. Yeah, that's looking a lot better. This isn't razor sharp, it's not like a knife that's sharp, but it's a lot better. Okay, now we need to balance the blade. What do I mean by that? Well, this is where we get our nail and our blade here. We're gonna set it through the hole and just see if it's balanced. Okay, we can see this side is coming down. So that means this side is heavier, so we're gonna need to take material off of this side to make it balanced. I'd like to pause here for a second and say if your lawnmower is having some problems starting or you think you need to replace your carburetor, I actually made a video on how to do that. So check it out right here and see how you can do that yourself. Now, why is it important to be balanced, you're wondering? Well, I will tell you. Here's a myth behind balancing. It's not so your grass is cut evenly. That's not the reason why we balance. The reason why you balance is because it'll keep the motor from shaking, which can ruin the motor, and it can cause the bearings to go out and the shaft to get all messed up. So it's all about the engine, preserving the life of the engine. It's not about cutting the grass, and if it's not balanced, that it'll cut a weird angle. The blade's going so fast, that does not factor into it. But what does factor into it is the life of your engine. So make sure it's balanced. So I'll show you. I need to grind off a little bit off of one side, show you how to do that, and then how to test it again. So just again, really quick, put it on your nail, figure out which side's heavier. Let's say this is like that. Yeah, see, it should be balancing out. Yeah, this side's heavier. So let's grind some off of this. Put your ears and eyes on. Okay, let's check that. Hey, that's a lot better. So now we're good to go. It's time to install the blade. We're just basically following the same pattern that we did when we took it off, just in reverse. Clean that out a little bit. Get that started. This is righty-tighty. What I like about this when you're tightening it down is you can now hold the dull side, the back side of the blade, to really tighten it down. Okay, now she's tight, you got sharp blades on, and you're good to go. So now let's set the lawnmower back up. Okay, let's reconnect the spark plug. You'll hear it click, and then we can also turn the gas on. Now let's turn it on and test it. And just like that, we're done. The lawnmower blade is sharp and it's installed, and we did it right and safely. Thanks for checking out the video. I really appreciate it. I hope you learned something new, and I hope you liked the process from the beginning to end. I know there's other videos on YouTube that show you, just how to sharpen the blade itself, but I think there were some important steps on how to remove it safely that I hope you found educational and insightful. So once again, appreciate you for supporting the channel, and let's get going.